In this video, I'm going to show you a simple three-step strategy that I'm implementing in my business now to generate up to $1,000 per week. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to actually show you a blueprint that I created that I was actually going to sell, but I'm going to show you part of that blueprint that shows this three-step strategy of what I'm implementing in my business now to generate up to $1,000 per week. Now, also, before the end of this video, we're going to do a simple math to show how you can actually create a simple product that you can sell for at least $27 and how that can lead you to generate up to $1,000 per week on a consistent basis. So without further ado, let's quickly dive in, and I'm going to share my screen and show you the blueprint that I created that I'm implementing in my business to generate up to $1,000 per week. Now, if you look at this, if although the title says what does it take to make $5,000 per month online, this is actually what I created while brainstorming, right? But this is a strategy that I'm implementing in my business right now. Now, what it takes is number one, you need a product or service that promises a desired solution to a problem. Now, where most creators fail is they focus on, like you see many creators on YouTube, they talk about, you need to create and sell an ebook, you need to create and sell a digital product. But what they fail to tell you is that just creating and selling or trying to sell an ebook won't just work. And there's a reason, because I've tried it, right? I mean, with ChatGPT, you can spin out an ebook in just a few minutes. But just because you can just go to ChatGPT and prompt it, and then you have some text that you can convert into a PDF, doesn't mean you get sales immediately. Look, I've tried it severally. It didn't work. But what will make it work is whatever thing you're creating, before you even start creating, you must have an end goal. In other words, the stuff that you're creating, whether it's an ebook or any type of product, must promise a desired solution to a problem, right? A desired solution to a problem. And I'll talk more about that as we go. Then the second thing is you need to have consistent traffic. In other words, you need to have a way for people to know about the solution that the product or your service delivers. That means you need to have consistent eyeballs. You need to make people know more about your product on a consistent basis. And then you need a simple sales or checkout page that shares information about the problem and the unique solution that your product delivers and how they can buy it, aka you have a buy button. So these are the three things that you need. So one, you need a product or service that promises a desired solution to a problem. In other words, the solution should be desired, and that's a key thing there. Then the other thing is you need a consistent way of getting people to be aware, to become aware, and to know about not just your product, but the solution that your product can deliver. In other words, you're consistently making people desire your product by getting traffic. I will talk about the traffic method that I'm implementing in my business right now. And then finally, you need a simple checkout page or even a sales page. The most important thing is that it gives them an idea of what they will get if they buy, the benefits, and you have your buy button that leads to a sale. It's simple as that. The problem or the challenge that most beginners face is that they overcomplicate these things. They overthink it. And believe you me, I've been in that shoes. I overthink things and I never get started. But this would help you. So, what I recommend to get started for a product or service is to create a digital product. Now, why do I recommend creating a digital product? Because one, it's easier to create. It's easier to get started. You can quickly transfer your thoughts, your ideas, your solution into a product. It's easier than creating a physical product or even drop shipping. Number two, you create it once and you sell it repeatedly, right? You don't have to buy more inventory. Number three, it's low or zero cost to create. You can simply have a free ChatGPT account or a Canva account or a Google Doc, like you're seeing on my screen, and you can just create a product just like that, right? In a matter of minutes or hours, depending on how much information you want to share. And then there's high profit margin, just like it's low cost to create, like low or zero cost to create. High profit margin. That means if you don't spend money on paid ads and on softwares, you still make a lot more. Even if you do, you still make a lot more than just buying inventory, because when you're buying inventory, you have to pay the manufacturing cost, right? Or shipping cost and all that. Now you don't need any shipping cost. Ease of delivery, you can easily deliver this by a simple link, by an email. You can deliver this. You don't need your physical presence to deliver. You don't need like a service where you have to provide a service maybe by your time or hiring other people who can provide that service for your customers. You don't need to do that. And then can be easily updated. You can update your ebook, your digital product anytime to add more value to it, to make it even better. So question is, what makes a digital product sell successfully? Before I talk about what I think makes a digital product sell successful, because believe me, I have had this experience, right? Is one, you don't need a fancy design. Now, this is where many creators get stuck. They think they need some fancy design, go on Fiverr trying to hire someone or get some template on Canva. All that is good. Don't get me wrong, but you don't need a fancy design to be able to sell your digital product. I've bought digital products that are just simple Google Docs. And I didn't care about the design. I only wanted the value. I don't have time in this video to show you one, but I could have shown you at least 2 or 3 products that I purchased. I've seen people selling products, digital products that are created as simple text like this on Google Doc for up to $97, right? Now they may add some links to YouTube videos, trying to give more depth into what they're sharing in text. But the most important thing is all free tools like the Google Doc and YouTube video. Nothing fancy, right? All free tools. And you don't need to invest so much time to create it, right? And this is another thing. I used to come up with an idea and then I try to create a product and then I feel, oh, maybe this is not good enough. And then I go back and then I try to recreate it and then I add more flavor. By the time I'm done, I've already discouraged because I'm overthinking it, right? Right now, I have a digital product that I'm creating, and it's all about helping people get their products launched and get their first sale. Now if you like to learn more about a product, make sure to comment below this video and I'll share with you as soon as it's ready. It's almost ready. I'm sure it's going to be ready by today, but you don't need a long time. However, you don't want to go spend a few minutes on ChatGPT and just prompt it and then get it spins off some general knowledge on information that you want to share with your audience. You want to ensure that what you're sharing with your audience can actually add value to them, can actually help them get the result that they desire. So you don't need to invest so much time. Before AI, people used to spend weeks trying to create uh, uh, online courses, but you don't need to do all that. You can do a simple text-based digital product or a template that you can build on Canva within a few minutes. The most important thing is you want to focus on the result, the transformation that your audience would achieve, right? And I'll give you a case scenario just before I finish. Now, the last thing you don't need is a broad topic. You don't need to go broad. You need to be specific. Specific. Here's the example I wanted to give to you, and this is a digital product I am going to create, but I'm going to give it to you here for free. Here's what it is. Sometime last year, I had some issues, financial issues. I was laid off from my job, and then I kind of struggled a bit with my finances. For about 3 months, I didn't have a job. And then I realized that I had not planned well. My bills were catching up with me and all that. So what I did was I created a simple spreadsheet to track my finances. Now, I know some people that say, oh, you'd have used an app and all that. I tried using an app prior to this time. But this time, my bills were catching up on me. I was falling behind some bills. I was losing track. And then that led to me incurring bank charges. I mean, in a particular month, I paid bank charges up to $300. And I was furious because I could have avoided that by simple planning. So what I did was I created a simple spreadsheet, and within the spreadsheet, every time I receive an income from my job or my business, I fill it into that spreadsheet. I have all my monthly expenses and when they come out, like my bills and stuff, right? When is this coming? When is this coming? So that way I'm able to fund the account where those bills are going to be charged. So I fund the account and ensuring that I don't have a negative balance and I don't get charged for not having sufficient funds in that account. So that helped me. But not only did he helped me see some things that were unnecessary. He helped me plan, okay, this is how much I'm spending each month. And that way I was able to save more money or keep more money and be able to plan for the future, right? That is helping me keep more money than I was before. Formerly, I just see money in my account and I'm excited. Oh, and then when I sit on something I can afford, I'm like, oh yeah, I have money in the account. I just go buy what I want, right? But that wasn't a good habit. But I'm going to talk about how I'm going to transform that into a digital product in my community because I'm launching a new community pretty soon. And if you like to be part of that community, please let me know, right? Because I'm turning this experience into a digital product. And so also you can turn a certain experience into any experience you have that formerly I would think this is ordinary, but that has saved me money. Right. Not only has it saved me money, it has given me control of my finances. Just a simple spreadsheet. But guess what? If I'm going to sell this spreadsheet, which I plan to do, I won't sell it as a spreadsheet. I won't call it another personal finance template. That's what a lot of creators make. No, it's the end goal, is what that spreadsheet has helped me to achieve. That's what I'll do, right? That is the end goal. Now, what you need, again, what makes a digital product sell successfully? What you need is one, your digital product should provide a desirable solution to a common pressing problem. So here are key factors in this statement. One, the problem should be pressing. In other words, it should be a motivating factor for someone to seek a solution. And your digital product should promise and provide a desirable outcome. So imagine in my spreadsheet scenario, I say, here is how to easily get out of debt, avoid negative balances, and save more money without an income increase, without increasing your income or whatever, right? I'm just, I know I have a topic for it, but I'm just giving you this. But here, I'm not talking about a spreadsheet. I'm talking about the solution, the desirable solution. That's what I'm talking about. So that's an example, right? I know I'm not putting the words, weaving the words properly right now, but that's a good example. Now, it provides a desirable solution for a hungry, passionate audience, aka market, motivated market. So you're not just trying to sell to anyone, you have a specific audience in mind and they're motivated. Now, what I've done here to create this 5K month blueprint that you're seeing is that I know I'm talking about making $1,000 per week, but I'm just using this ebook or this brain dump to share how to do that. And like I said, if you hang on, I'll do a simple math on how to do this, right? Now, if this is making sense to you, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. All right. I just launched this channel and I'm going to be sharing more content here that can help anyone to go from zero to $1,000 per week and even scale that up to 10K months in within 90 days. That's my goal for this channel, right? And for everything I'm going to be doing here. So now, going back to what I was talking about, it provides a desirable solution for a hungry, passionate audience. In other words, motivated market. So you don't want to just create any product just because it's a nice idea. You want to think, you want to brainstorm. Okay, who is hungry, who is passionate, who wants a solution, and what solutions do they want, and what problems do they have? So that's why I talked about a common pressing problem, right? So someone who is frustrated that I'm earning money, but I'm not able to save. I need a solution. I need to find a way to save money. Not only save money, to keep money so that I can do other things. I can invest, I can buy a home if I want to buy, or something, right? Or save for vacation, or save for the kids' tuition, right? That person might be pressed to look for a solution. And that's what led me to first look for apps, but the apps weren't working the way I wanted. until I had to create the spreadsheet myself. And guess what? I used ChatGPT to create the spreadsheet. I explained everything that was going on and all that, gave it all the information, and it generated the spreadsheet in a few minutes, right? So that's what I did. So that was me looking for a solution, right? And I went to ChatGPT to get a solution. I could have seen someone who tells me how to, if, you know, a course or something, a template. I could have purchased it. I think I purchased a template on Etsy, but it wasn't specific. It was a general template. I didn't want to spend time customizing it. Now, it provides a desirable solution to an audience with purchasing power. This is another thing that makes a digital product sell successfully. So it's not just someone who's motivated, it's also people who are motivated to buy. Like I went to Etsy and I purchased a template. Some other people might just be looking for free, right? I remember when I was years back when I was looking for templates before AI, some years back, I wanted to update my resume. I had to look for templates. AI wasn't a thing at all at this time. I had to look for templates, free templates, resume templates. And that's what I use, right? So at that time, I was not willing to buy anything. I just wanted a free template. And I know I still saw some templates that were for sale, but I found something that was free. So it's not because I didn't have the money to buy. I just felt I can find something free that I can customize. And I found something free and I customized. But there's some other people who are motivated with purchasing power who go to places like Etsy, and get a template. Of course, on Canva, you see resume templates, right? Even on Google Doc, I think you can see templates. On those days, Microsoft Word, you can find templates there as well. So, having said that, the type of product that I would recommend, I already talked about it, is a digital product. So I'm not going to go further into this because I don't want to make this video too long. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to share a simple math, right? Let's do a simple math of how you can generate $1,000 per week, right, with a digital product using this three-step system that I just shared with you. One, a product that promises a desired solution to a problem. It's not just a product, it has a promise, it has an end goal, it has a transformation promise to the target audience. Traffic, a consistent way for people to know about the solution and the product that delivers it. That means your product. And the traffic here that I'm talking about is YouTube. Use YouTube. Like I'm doing in this video, use YouTube. Now, in another other video, I'm going to talk more about why you should focus on YouTube. However, what you need to know is that I've seen many creators that I follow and watch their content on YouTube say that among all the traffic sources that they utilize, they found out that YouTube has been the best traffic sources in terms of retention, in terms of conversion, in terms of engagement, right? Quality of leads and sales that they get, it's coming from YouTube. So I know there's TikTok, you can grow a following fast. Instagram is there, there's Facebook, there's paid ads, but many of these creators have said YouTube is the best traffic source. And that's what I'm implementing right now in my business. And by the way, if you like a copy of this blueprint, just leave a comment below this video, just comment blueprint and I'll share with you, right? What I'll do is there's some information that I would probably scrub, which would be for my paid product, but I'll share enough to help you get started, right? So let me know. So having said that, I said I was going to do the math. So let me quickly do the maths. Let's do the maths right here. Good thing we have some nice tools. By the way, if you wonder what I'm using to shoot this video is Zoom clips, right? So I have a paid account with Zoom, and then they have this app they call Zoom clips. So if you go to Zoom Workplace, you can find it. Maybe I'll see if I would leave a description to it in this video. So how to make $1,000 per week, right? 1K per week. Oh, this is not staying. So what do I do here? I need it to stay. Is this? And then I will probably change this to black. Okay. So let's look at making 1K per week. Now, pardon my writing, right? It's terrible. So 1K per week. To make 1K per week, the first thing I recommend is, like I said, create a digital product, right? Digital product. That's the first thing I recommend. Now, your digital product, let's assume that you're selling your digital product, especially if you're starting at $27, right? One time. So you're selling your digital product for $27. Now, how do you translate $27 to 1K per week? Number one is your traffic source. Now, remember, your digital product, before we even talk about your traffic source, has to have the big promise. What is the desired outcome? In other words, what would the audience gain? What is in it for them? What is the big promise? Right? What is the big promise? What would your digital product deliver? Right? And here we're not talking about features. We're not talking about, oh, this ebook has 278 pages or thereabout. No, you can even have an ebook that there's just 30 pages, 20 pages, but it delivers real value. So what is the big promise? What is the transformation? What would they become? What would they achieve? What result can they get by reading your ebook? Number one. Number two is your traffic source, right? We talked about it. So your traffic source. In this case, I said use YouTube. Now we'll dive in more videos on how to grow your YouTube channel, even if you're starting from scratch. So use YouTube. So what you want to do is you want to create at least, and this is the strategy I'm implementing in my business, at least one or two videos per week. But the way you want to do that is, and this is the mistake I used to make. Number one, I was worried about editing. I was worried about making mistakes in my YouTube videos and all that. But now I found out that, I can just come up with my content ideas. That's the first thing I do, right? Number one, I come up with my content ideas. And how do I come up with my content ideas? I watch similar creators, right? And see what content, their titles, the hook is the big promise. The title of their video is the big promise. So imagine you're scrolling your YouTube video and then you see a title that makes you stop to watch the YouTube. There are two things. One, the title. Two, the thumbnail. The title has to be relevant, right? So you want to, if that title has generated views, good enough views, right? You want to create similar title. Example, although in this video, I can say I'm not following this rule fully because I wanted to just get this out as quickly as possible because I was busy creating my digital product, like I told you. But I needed to get this information out as quickly as possible. However, I can optimize this title later. But here, the title is how to generate $1,000 per week with a digital product using this 3-step. Simple, right? Something like that. Now, content. So in your content, you want to come up with different title ideas. So you want to research other YouTube creators that their titles and their thumbnail have generated views. That's where you want to start. One, title. So the title and the video content itself. So the title will get people to stop and click on your video to watch it. But the content itself is important. Now, in the content, you don't have to be perfect. Look, I'm not perfect, right? You don't have to be perfect. You just have to focus on that desired outcome. In this case, I'm trying to show you how to make $1,000 per week in this video. Focus on that desired outcome that your title has promised. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Now, once you do that, the question is how do you generate traffic consistently? So what I plan to do, or what I'm doing in my business right now, is to batch create content because I'm also busy. I have a 9 to 5, right? I have a 9 to 5 job, so I don't have time to every week. I mean, you can do that if that works for you. Maybe set a time, a target every week when you want to create a video. Maybe once in a week, twice in a week. But even if you do that, maybe once in a week you decide that I'm going to create 2 videos in this hour on this day. Perfect, right? For me, I want to batch create content. So my goal is to create 2 to 3 videos per week, right? Per week. That's my goal. Now, how would I do that? That means in a month, I should have 8 to 12 new or posted YouTube videos on my channel, long form videos, right? Now, I might do some short form videos on the go, but this is what I want to do. So 8 to 12 YouTube videos. Now, here, you want to focus on the transformation. Again, the big promise, right? That's what you want to focus on. Don't worry about the views. Focus on the big promise. Model other YouTube content creators and make sure that your content is still focusing on the promise. I hope this is making sense. Now, batch create. So for me, 2 to 3 videos per week, I can sit down in one day, or I can schedule in one day and create up to 4 videos in a day, right? And then take another day, create another 4 videos, and then take a third day and create another 4 videos. Now, even if I do 3 3 3 in 3 days or 3 3 3 in 4 days, either way, my goal is to create 8 to 12 videos for the month. So once I do that, I can have videos ready to post, at least 2 to 3 videos every week. Now, on the go, there might be some ideas that I want to quickly jump on, like I'm doing right now, and just share. I can just find time to do that as soon as I have the time, spend a few minutes, 10 to 15, 20 minutes, and shoot the video. I'm not going to be doing a lot of editing at this point, right? So my video might not have all the graphics and all that, but later I plan to hire someone who's going to be doing some of those, little bit visual effect and all that can help the video. Maybe add some B-rolls and add some sound effect and all that, make it more entertaining while delivering the value that you're doing. But at the beginning, you don't need to have that. So that's what I plan to do. 8 to 12 videos. So this is how you drive traffic. Now, in every video, number 3, in every in every video, you need a call to action. That means you want to invite people to either download your free lead magnet. In this case, I mean, if you want this 5K month blueprint, let me know and I'll share that with you, right? And also, I'm developing an ebook that can actually help you create your own digital product in in just a weekend, and so that you can generate your first sale. It's actually some of the things I'm sharing here are in that ebook. And if you like for me to give you a special discount for being my beta buyers or customers, please let me know in the comments below this video. So number 3 is your call to action. Like I said, if you want this 5K month blueprint that you're seeing, there's actually more, which I'm not going to, I can't scroll now because I'm using the annotation tool, but there's actually more that you can see in this video. So if you look on this side, you see that I have different titles and all that. So if you want that, this is what you can do. So having said that, let's go back to the maths, right? So I'm going to clear all this and go back to the math. So you create your videos, you've created your ebook, the big promise, you're creating videos, focusing on the big promise, the transformation. Now your product is sold at $27. So let's say I've seen a creator who said this. Let's say for every 100 views, right? 100 views, right? You make one sale because, sorry, you make one sale. For every 100 views, we'll say 100 views, you make one sale, right? You make one sale. What that means is you just sold a product for $27. All right. So if you create 3 videos, now I haven't done this maths before now. I think I have something different, but this is where I'm going to. We're working this out together. So let's say every 100 views, you make one sale. Now, let's say your videos eventually start getting, and 100 views means that you're converting at, I believe is, that should be 1%, 1% conversion. So if you have 1% conversion from your 100 views, that's one sale, right? Remember, if your video is promising, is focused on the big promise, the transformation that people will get, and your content itself actually is valuable to them, this is possible. You can get one. I've seen people saying they get up to 10% conversion, right? Now I know that's high, probably. I don't know, but let's go with the minimum. I mean the barest minimum, 1% conversion. So you get $27. Now, if you have if you finally eventually start getting up to 1,000 views per video, right? And 1% conversion of 1,000 views is 10 times $27, right? That means 1% conversion of 1,000 views is 10 sales times $27. That will mean that you make $270 in a week, right? Now, remember, I said I want to do 3 videos per week. So let's say I do 3 videos, get 1,000 views, 1K views, right? Now, as you keep being consistent, I believe your view count to go from 1,000 views to 3,000, 6,000, 10,000, whatever. Just imagine your videos get 20,000 views or 50,000 views, right? It's all about consistency, right? Then 1K views at 1% conversion. Now, pardon my terrible writing. That will mean you make 10 sales times. Okay, sorry. So 3 videos now. We're doing 3 videos. 3 videos, each having 1K views. That will now be 3K views, right? 1% conversion will now be 30. Let me erase this to make this cleaner, right? Go back here. So 3K views and 30 sales times $27. And what does that equal to? This is close to, if I get my calculations correctly, this is close to, let's pull my calculator here. That will now be 27 times 30 is very close to $900. 900 plus. So $810. So we're close to our goal for the week, right? $810. Now, any additional, now I haven't talked about adding bump offers and upsells, which you can do because you can build a community around this once you start getting traction. But this potentially can give you between $810 per week and up to $1,000 per week, right? $1,000 per week. This is the potential of what you can get. Now, remember that you would also have your lead magnet and people will subscribe. That means you can also get conversion from your email. Now, when you're doing this also, as you start getting views on YouTube, you can experiment other traffic sources like Instagram. Now, if you get some conversion from Instagram, as an example, that's an additional income on what you're already making from YouTube. At this point, I'm not even talking about the YouTube partner program, right? No, I'm just talking about what you're making as a new creator, just selling digital products. And you can stack your digital product and even make more, right? And down the line, if your product is delivering value and your audience, make sure you're getting feedback. Ask them for feedback, ask them to leave a comment, create a community on Facebook or on school, which is what I'm doing in my business. And ask them to give you feedback, ask questions, tell you where you can improve. As you improve your product, you can increase the price to $37 and up to $97. That means even even if your conversion rate remains the same, if this goes from $30 to $37, you already hit the goal of $1,000. So 30 times 37, you already hit the goal right here without even increasing your conversion rate. Keeping 3 videos per week, getting an average of 1K views, you can achieve this. So this is how you can go about making $1,000 per week. Now, what I want to say here is this. If you're a beginner and you've tried other ways to make money online and it's not working for you? One is because for a lot of people, I'm going to speak from my own experience, is because I'm sometimes we're not even sure if this is going to work. But what can help you, like I said, what will help you create a successful digital product that sells? It's not the fancy design. It's not how much time you spend to create it. Because most times when you spend so much time on one particular digital product, it's because you're overthinking things. And I've been there. I've been there overthinking, fine-tuning, and never ever launching. Or sometimes your topic or what you're trying to provide a solution for is too broad. You're not specific. What you need is the desirable solution, and that's what you need to focus on. What do people desire, right? I'm going to come up with another video where I'm going to talk about how to find a niche or niche, whatever, that actually that can make you successful. Something in that line, so that you know what to focus on to get results. That's another thing I'm going to do. So if you're watching this video and you've been struggling to make an income online and you like a way to actually start generating sales or selling your digital product or making up to $1,000 every week and you like my help, let me know in the comments below this video, and I'm going to share this blueprint with you. And if you want to have a conversation with me as well, you can do that. I'll probably leave a link to how you can reach me in the description. So if that makes sense, let me know. And please, before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, so that you get notified as soon as I release the next video where I'm going to be diving deeper into some of this content. My goal here is to motivate you and myself as well to reach whatever your desired income goal is. If it's $1,000 per week, is $5,000 per week, it's achievable by simply creating digital products. I've seen creators who are making up to six figures with their digital products per month, making 20, 30, $50,000 per month, right, with their digital product business. And of course, it's not just by selling $27 products. There are other stack of value that you can add behind your $27 product that can help you reach that goal faster. But you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere, make $1,000 per week, then go from $1,000 to $2,000 per week, and go from $2,000 per week to $5,000 per week, and so on and so forth. So if that makes sense, make sure to leave a comment below this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.